Good day. I am Hernando Morillo III, and today I am going to be talking about decentralization. To start, let us know what decentralization means in general. So, what is decentralization? Decentralization is the process in which the authority to make decisions in an establishment is spread out throughout the whole organization. This means that the ability to take action on how the company is run is not tied to the higher positions, but distributed throughout the whole organization. Pure Gold, for example, it is a company that has a lot of branches throughout the whole country. The top management of the organization is the head office, which we can think about as the CEO. The regional offices are the middle management that handles the branches in a regional level, and the store managers who handles the physical store and branches. Let us compare it first to a centralized structure. In a centralized structure, all the decision-making authority and management is handled by the head offices. For example, the prices of different products in the store, they are dictated by the head office. The regional offices and store managers doesn't have a say in these decisions. Another one is what type of products are going to be sold in these decisions. In a centralized structure, all these decisions are taken by the head office and its subordinates, the national offices and the store managers can only obey these decisions. Now, in a decentralized structure, what's going to happen is that the decision making ability is now distributed among its subordinates. The regional offices can now decide what products can have discounts, what events are going to happen. And the store managers can now stock products that are highly demanded by their customers. The idea is that in decentralization, we are trying to push the decision making authority downwards so that it is spread throughout the whole organization. Moving forward, let's now talk about decentralization in the government. So, decentralization in the government of in the context of the government is the transfer of powers, functions, and resources from the central government to subnational units, similar to what we've discussed earlier. The central government sits at the top where the president and executives are located. Below it, we have three major administrative units: local government units or LGUs, national government agencies or NGAs, and government owned and controlled corporation or GOCCs. There are three main forms of decentralization in a government: devolution, deconcentration, and delegation. Devolution is considered as the strongest form of decentralization, where powers, responsibilities, and resources are permanently transferred to local government units, giving them political and fiscal autonomy. In the LGU, areas like provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays are given autonomy. This means that they can make local decisions without consulting first to the central government. These decisions include processes such as passing ordinances, collecting local taxes, and implementing community projects. In deconcentration, uh, it is a it is an administrative decentralization where powers are transferred to regional field offices of national government agencies. NGAs like Department of Health or Department of Education remain under direct control for the central government, but they have established regional or field offices to handle their local matters. The power isn't transferred permanently, it just helps spread national services more efficiently. So while the DepEd regional office makes local decisions, it still answers to the DepEd central office in Manila. The last main form of decentralization is delegation, where authority is transferred to semi-autonomous entities to carry out functions on behalf of the central government. Here, the central government assigns specific functions to other bodies, sometimes to GOCCs or even private organizations, but the power remains with the state. For example, PhilHealth. PhilHealth is tasked with managing national health insurance, and another example is PAGCOR, which handles gaming regulation. They are not local government units, but they perform specific functions delegated by the state. These institutions operate with some independence, but they are still accountable to the government. Moving on, this discussion so far raises the question: what is the main goal of decentralization? There are three theories of decentralization that explains why the government adopted this approach. The first one is the theory. Efficiency, efficiency theories argues that local governments can provide services more efficiently because they are closer to the people and understands their needs better. So, by letting local governments handle their own affairs, services can be delivered faster. It reduces delays and helps resources reach people where they are needed the most. Second is democratic participation theory. Democratic participation theory posits that decentralization strengthens democracy by empowering citizens to participate in decision making. This theory focuses on the idea of empowerment. The idea is that when the people are closer to their local leaders, they're more likely to participate, may it be through consultations, barangay assemblies, or even local elections. Moving forward, to the last theory, which is the accountability theory. Accountability theory emphasizes that decentralization fosters transparency and accountability, as citizens can directly monitor their local officials. This one argues that decentralization makes government officials more answerable to their constituents. When a mayor or governor directly manages projects and funds, people people know who to hold accountable for both success and failure. That is all from me today. Thank you.